All right, welcome to Dynasty Football Maniacs. Today we're covering just the a rookie draft from a Dynasty league. We have a 7-round draft we're fixing to look at, walk through it. This is exciting. I love the rookie drafts, so it'd be kind of neat to see where everything goes. So today, my team, I'm getting to pick at the 101, which is a good pick. Also have the 103, which is another good pick. And then I'm dead in the water until the 210. Pretty much have an idea who I'm going for 1 and 3. We'll just have to kind of play it out. And it is starting the draft. So our previous episodes, me and Austin's ranked out the different positions for rookies and NFL for startups, but this is just solely rookie draft. So it's mainly just rookie players. So here I'm sitting at the 101, and I mean, there's a lot of good options at the 101. I will tell you right now, if you went Marvin Harris, Malik Neighbors, either one would be good. Me, I am going to go with Marvin Harris. I'm not getting a quarterback, even though this is a flex league for quarterbacks. I'll get a quarterback at the 103. So I am definitely going for Marvin Harris, and that is the 101. So that'll help out my team in a little bit. I'll kind of run down my team after the draft, kind of see where I'm at. This team still has another year of building. It's not where it needs to be. I did trade a 107 to someone for a future 25. The reason why I did that 25 is I feel like this team is probably not going to make it in the top end of the league. So it's a good chance they'll have a good pick. So not sure. See if everybody's on. Yeah, everybody's on. Well, except for him. I don't know if he's on or not. I can't tell. Help out some folks here sometimes. Text them, let them know. That's a nice thing commissioner does sometimes is hit people up just to kind of make sure everybody doesn't miss the rookie draft, especially if you got a first round pick, which he's going to get who I think he wanted. So either way, that works for him. Before I end up wasting my pick, here I am. So now the 102 went Caleb Williams. I figured that. He would either went 101, 102. This is a flex league. I kind of get it. So I figure either Caleb Williams would have went to 101, but since I had the 101, I wanted Marvin Harris. That's building on my team. He picked Caleb Williams. I figured that would be auto. I am going to go ahead, and I have a lot of faith in Jaden Daniels for Washington. So if you watched any of the previous ranking shows, me and Austin were both hyped up on him. I think he'd be a good pick. So I am going to gamble and grab him to try to clean up my quarterback room. And every time I try to do these shows when I'm in a draft and the commissioner, I'm getting tons of texts and in chat room stuff, trying to figure out stuff. So and sometimes I cause it on myself because I always want to reach out to everybody, make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. So it kind of slows down what I'm talking about. The guy that's up picking right now, they're both online. Well, he's online, so let's see what he picks. See what tell him what he picks next. Oh, 301. So he went with Malik Neighbors. So that's interesting. I am surprised. So I'm looking over here. Let's go with tiers. Well, I mean, no, I'm not really surprised. I mean, I would expect Malik Neighbors. I would have picked Malik Neighbors 1 or 2. And then Rome Tuesday, Brock Bowers. That's how I kind of ranked it out. Caleb Williams, I have him 5th, Jaden Daniels 6th. Now, you say, well, why did I have all them other guys ahead of Jaden Daniels and I picked him at the 103? I'm picking the 101, I picked at talent. I was going to pick whatever position I thought had the best talent, and I thought Marvin Harris was the best talent. The 103, I am picking for best talent plus team need. So I'm not like got the best quarterback room. I made some bad trades last year. Gave up 2 good quarterbacks, one trying to help out someone, actually both of them, and put me in a bad situation. So, but it's my own fault. I made that decision. No one else did. I'm going to text one more person and then I'm going to get back on it. So he don't have another pick for, that guy doesn't have another pick until the 3-2, but I'm just trying to help him out. He had the 102 and it looked like an auto draft. So right now we've had pretty much everybody I projected. I mean, you got Brock Bowers went the 107. Drake May, I mean, I really am not hyped up on Drake May. Some people still are. That's a really scary situation. I'm thinking Will Levis here. And Will Levis ain't really recovered yet. So I don't know if I'd be. I mean, I know if you need him, it's a rookie draft. Usually you do. Oh, I thought something else went off mode. That's Lad McConkey. Okay, that makes sense. Rome Tuesday, I think that's another one that's overbid. Xavier Worthy, I get that one. That's going to be a top wide receiver for Kansas City Chiefs. So, and the ideal is like I'm showing you this 7-round draft to show you what a rookie draft looks like at a dynasty league. We're only drafting rookies. This is also including defensive players. That's why we have a 7-rounder. You'll see some extra picks up there to 113, 114. What that is we do offer prizes. Like we give away certain picks. In this league, we give away a 113, 313, and a 413. They're prizes that are given away on top of cash prizes. So a little bit of initiative to try to earn. The 113 is earned by like your bottom 6 is having their little championship. Whoever wins that gets that. It doesn't matter where you place because that placing doesn't change really. The top is all placed by how you finished in your playoff. The bottom 6 is all placed by what you finished at the end of the season. So it gives a little incentive to try at the end of the season to win a game in the playoff and play what we call the Great Toilet Bowl, and you can win the 113. The 313 and the 413 are given away. The 313 is a consolation prize for if you finish 4th. Sorry, that's all I'm giving you. You don't win no cash or anything. It just gives you an extra pick. And the 413 is given away for the top highest scorer. It gives them an extra pick. And so far it's been like, that's the best way I found out how to do it. So what you do is you have to set your team for 12, and then you go and you add 2 teams to it. And then when you reset the season, like right when the draft is done, I'll pull them 2 out and reset everything, drop all them kickers so everybody could bid on them if they want. That's how that works. So on the next pick I have is at the 210. So look at Blake Corum went off at the what did he go? He went the 3-1. Brian Thompson Jr. went 2-1. Brian Thompson Jr. went 2-2, and we are on pick 2-3. So let's see who got that. And a lot of these picks, why they jumble up like this, how you get your pick is where you finished in the season. And trades. A lot of trades go on. So I ended up with 7 picks. You start with 7, but my 7 are not like 7 in a row. I got the 101, the 103, the 210, and then I got no picks in the 3rd round. And then I don't pick again until the 4th round twice. And then I got 2 picks in the 6th, and I believe I have 1 in the no, I do not have 1 in the 7th either. So I'm out of the 7th round. So I'm only picking up to the 6th round in this league. Each league varies. It just depends. Some people are not very fond of trading their picks. You'll see some players on here that keep their picks. Very seldom you'll see them trade. It really depends on the person and learning it. Some people are more active than others. So right now we're looking at the 2-4. Coleman went off. We're currently at the 2-5. Looking at my queue, I had did a pre-queue based on where I was going to be at in the draft. I had players ahead of certain players, and if they got taken, that's great. And then it was an estimate of if these players were going to still be here. Now, there's a chance some of these guys are not going to be here. But before I pick, I'll also look at the overall rankings that's currently on the app to see who's the top for all before I pick. But basically, what I got on the side is the needs. And then it's determining what needs I want. Now, I figured a defensive player would finally go, and it did. Dallas Turner just went. Michael Penix, a lot of people's been hopped up here. Lat 2 went. That's usually your top 2 rookies right there. Hulk just went. Good wide receiver for New England. Probably going to have a lot of opportunities. Oh, man, someone grabbed my Ben Sinnott. So I was really gunning for a tight end. So now it leaves me with the decision. I'm at the 210 right now. I'm looking at 3 people. I got to figure out which one I want. And at the end of the day, they're both roll the dice. But who do I want more? Do I want McCaffrey or Mitchell? Anodyne Mitchell, yes, he's in my ranking. So is Luke McCaffrey sitting out. But as I more dig into this, I mean, my wide receiver room wasn't really bad. Marvin Harris just topped it off. And now I'm working on my quarterbacks. And I know this year I'm not going to really do fun on my running backs. I might hit a lucky guess here and there. So to tack on an extra wide receiver as a guessing thing, I got to pick between the 2, and I am going to go ahead and roll the dice because I really do like watching Luke McCaffrey. and I'm going to go ahead and place him on my team. So it's maybe a little too early, but the reason why I did it in the previous league, I drafted him in like the third round. Did it now because I don't have a pick. And if you look at the rankings, Luke McCaffrey will be gone by the time I pick again because we're going into the fourth round. So all them picks are going to be gone. So I'm looking right here. I am surprised Liggett is still survived. In every other draft I've been in, Xavier Liggett has gone within the second round. And speaking of the devil, he just went second round, 212. So yep, it still occurred. I mean, more people are hype on Liggett, and I am too. I did put him in my rankings, and you guys can go back and watch some rookie rankings we have. We have rookie rankings and then overall rankings. Me and Austin, I think, did a pretty good job putting several shows together with all these rankings. And we got more to come. We're going to do another show on IDP, and this is mixing them all together with the rookies and a little bit of more of our outtake. But we always do refer to our other episodes because some of them are more detailed than others. A lot of them we're just running through. When you're trying to name off 50 players and you're trying to do it in a short period of time, you don't cover as many of the facts as we would done if we were doing the top 10 or top 20. So if you ever go back to one of our top 10 to top 20 episodes, we do cover a lot of information. So 301 is on the board, and not sure of what he's going to get. Anodyne Mitchell. So he kind of took who I was debating against. So, I mean, and Jarrett Verse was another defensive player that went off the round in the second round. So you had three defensive players that went in the round. I knew Trey Benson. There was no way I could have hope for him. Now, if I had kept the 107, I would have took Jonathan Brooks over Trey Benson. So I would have took Jonathan Brooks over Trey Benson, but I had them both called out if I still had the 107. But I traded the 107 away for a future first rounder 2025. And at the time, I didn't have any for next year. So I definitely knew my team was still weak. Still probably feel like I'm going to finish in the bottom six. If some lucky chance I get up in the top six and make it to the playoffs, great. But I don't think I have a great defense. My defense is highly rated, so I'm not really focused on defensive players. Like I said, I last year had some bad games, so I decided to go one way with it, and I traded too much. I gave away too much of my offense, and in the process, it hurt my team. And now I'm trying to put that team back together. I wasn't really trying to go for that championship with this league. Now, I'm in another league that I am actually trying to go for a championship, and I believe I have a pretty good shot at it. I know I'll be in the least of playoffs, but this league here, I still think I got another year because I probably wouldn't have had that other year if I'd have just been patient and not got so gunslinging about trades at the beginning of the season. But that happens sometimes. So you got to be cautious on what you do. So he's on the board at 3-4. Pretty much everybody. Well, you still got Marshawn Lloyd still out there, don't we? Nope, he's off. He went having a little skip. So he's having a little technical issues here. Wow. But we're waiting. So Bucky Irvins just went off the board, and I still don't have a pick until the 4-7. So this is basically sit back and watch, see what's going on. It's neat to see what other people decide because a lot of people think differently and how they rank it. This round here actually has 13 picks, and the next round has 13 picks, and then it's all basically 12 picks after that. So in my opinion, when you're doing a dynasty league, it's nice to give a little bit of other prizes out there. So right now, technically, we only have one person auto drafting. Everybody else is on. Not sure what happened with that person. I've tried to text him, not heard nothing back. He has pretty much all his picks too. So hopefully he had his cues lined up. I mean, rookie draft, I don't think is really good to auto draft. There's a lot of reasons why. A rookie draft, you're taking a gamble on everybody you pick, even your first, but most likely your first will be successful. But in some cases and scenarios, that first is not that good. I mean, there is issues where the first failed. I mean, they don't always like the majority of the time, yes, they're a star, but sometimes it does happen. I've seen people that draft 107 running backs and the following season, they're nothing. I mean, so, but I'll always reference if you right now, if you're drafting, you got a draft coming up, go back, check out a few of our episodes, check out the rankings. I think, like I said, me and Dawson really put some time putting that stuff together. We also put all that stuff on our the rankings. We do drop some of that on the X page. So just go to that site. You can actually just download our rankings if you want to use our rankings. And there's so many tools out there nowadays. Fantasy football has grown so much over the years, and I mean, if you go back, like when I first started playing back in the 90s, and that was baseball, and I didn't get into football until 2004. I mean, it's changed over the years. It's not the same as it was back then. And there's more opportunity to find research information. I mean, there's tons of shows out there, just like what I'm doing right now, just podcasts, in my opinion. And that's what they are, is opinions. I mean, some of them, like if you're looking at statistical ratings, I mean, that's a little different, but I don't think that so much opinion is based. Like I might say one thing and someone else might say the other. I do ride a lot of my information on stats, and sometimes stats people don't perform every year like they do perform. Like DJ Moore didn't finally had his good year until last year. Does that continue? I mean, he's always been decent, but not like he was last year. So that's a big question. I mean, you got a new quarterback there. Is he going to be the same? Plus, you got all the other targets there. You got Rome Tuesday. You got Keenan Allen. So a lot of things change. All right. So the 310. Oh, that's not me. I don't know. I had the 210. I got confused there a minute. I thought I was on the board. So I'm still not on the board until the 4-7. So I'm looking at my list. There's a few players that I already, you can see my queue here, who I have queued up. I will probably, and I got some players underneath there. I queued up quite a few players before this. Well, I got 7 left in my queue. I got 3, 4 picks to go. So I don't think I have anything in the 5th round. Nope, I don't have no 5th rounder either. So it's like I'm gonna draft 2 in the 4th. We are waiting to see what this guy's gonna pick. Now, 310. Interesting. He had a pick earlier at 301. He got Mitchell. Looks like he dropped offline for a minute. Nope, here he comes back on. So he's probably gonna pick. You can see different people are more everybody has a different way of drafting. Some people like to draft on a computer, some people like to draft from their phones. I was very fortunate today because I didn't think I'd have this opportunity to record the show and do this. Our internet was down because of fiber optic cord or whatever. It was down all day, like all morning. It messed with my PlayStation game. Okay. But luckily it came up about an hour and a half ago, and I was able to set everything up and actually able to go through this. I thought I was going to have to draft in my driveway on my phone. So, and I'm the commissioner. So I could still start the draft, do all that stuff from the phone, but I do prefer to bring it up on a computer sometime and look at my spreadsheets and go through my, even though I did most of all my homework last night and put everything in last night, which I'm glad I did. Oh, it would have been a mess this morning. And Peyton Wilson went. Now that was a guy I really was hyped up on in defense, and I really wanted to draft him, but I knew that my defense was good, and I knew what I needed right now was what I got at the 101 and the 103. And Luke McCaffrey was just an extra pick that I just wanted on my team. Preference. The next 2 picks, I am going to mainly focus on a need and who I think is going to be the best fit. Now, I'm also, before I make that pick, I'm also going to relook at the ranking for sleeper and then relook at the rankings we have and kind of compare them and decide where I go. Because one reason the sleeper app becomes important is that it does adjust to our point scale, where I'm looking at PPR over here. So there's a little slight, this includes my bonuses. So with that including my bonuses, I have a better idea like, okay, this guy gets a lot of bonuses. He's going to be good. But in a rookie draft, it's just a projection. So it's not the real. I mean, some are pretty close. I mean, I've compared some of the rookie projections from last year, and they get their projections from just like the PPR leagues. I mean, whoever they're pulling their projections from, that it seems like they're pretty much across the board, not different. The only difference is the fantasy points change a little bit. So the ranking changes slightly over here versus over here. The ADP average draft position is opinion based. It's average draft position. It's where the player is drafted. So we're at now. Oh, Ray Davis went off the board at 312. I was really hopped up holding him out there. He was on my list, but he was below. I don't think you guys could have seen him. But I got another one that I really, well, 2 that are on that list. Well, oh, I thought he just went. I was about to say, darn it. Aldrich Estamine. So I'm definitely gonna, if he get that word out, if he lasts us till the 4-7, he will be my next pick, my top pick on my queue list. Looking over at the other board, there's a couple there that could possibly I don't, I still, I'll probably end up highly picking Audric Estimine. I mean, I would like to get him on my team. But with that being said, he's not, oh, he's on that list, but he's a little bit ways down. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a good chance, unless one of the four before me prefers him, I have a good shot of getting him. Now, I'm going to probably stay away from Brandon Allen because of Brees Hall. Not a good situation to go to the Jets. I mean, Brees Hall's a good running back. I wouldn't want to be behind him. Oh, he's got some good picks. He's got no, he don't. He only had Anadine Mitchell and when does he pick again? Oh, he picked Sanders. Okay, that makes sense. That's so confusing when I look at the top names and then all down below, some of the names change, trying to figure out where everybody's at. That's what that means. If you see the name highlighted on the board, that means that was a trade. That wasn't the original person that had that pick. That was someone that traded, got that pick in a trade and utilizing it. I still believe the best Dynasty League app is Sleeper, and that's opinion based. I played on a lot of other platforms. I think Dynasty, it works very well. I like a lot of the options they give us, and they give the commissioner a lot of power. There's some other ones. We have a show on that a little earlier during the summer about the different apps. You can go back to it, watch it. And it's all based on opinions and our experiences and what we've done. I still play on the ESPN league. That's the oldest league I played on, and play on Yahoo still. And Yahoo, I've had two different accounts, so it's like been there for a while. So Brandon Allen went off, and then okay, he's still there. All right, so I am up to pick, and as I said, I was going to take that running back, and I do, Audric Estimine. So next pick I have is at the 431. Now, I'm in a dilemma. I still think it's a little, well, Brendan Rice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. And I really want Brendan Rice. And the rest of the guys on my list are farther down. So, and the guy that I would have picked before Brendan Rice that I didn't have in my queue just went off the board. So that means I will go with another roll the dice wide receiver, kind of build up that room, put some youth in it. And why you say, why am I big on Brandon Rice and Luke McCaffrey? I'm gonna tell you, every McCaffrey's been good in the NFL so far. And I know he's the son, but if you watch the kid play, I think he's a little underrated. That's my opinion. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think you have to go to an all-star team to be an all-star. I mean, not everybody does it. I mean, Kelsey, where was he? I know he's a tight end. He went to Cincinnati. Was Cincinnati a big school back then? No. I mean, Cincinnati was a non-power 5 school at the time. I mean, it doesn't matter where they go. It's how you do when you get in the NFL, and it's talent. Some people make choices in life to go certain places. That's where they went. Now here I sit again through this draft. I get 2 more picks left, and I have 3 people left in my queue. And you say, well, why do you have Spencer Rattler there? Cade Stovers and Tyler Newman. Tyler, yes, is a defensive player, and I'm excited about him coming out. He's my last resort. Like if I end up picking a defensive player, trying to get something to come back up. Here we go. All right. I was about to say, was I going to lose that too? I've been having technical difficulties, and our power just got cut, not power, but internet service just got cut back on. So this is kind of blotchy, you can say. So who would I pick first at the 6-1? It really depends at where they're at when the list is coming up. Now, Spencer Rattler might not even be there for me because he's 4th now on the ADP for sleeper. 307 overall. So if you're like doing a start off, he's like way, way down there. You have to go, son. You got to search him up to get him. It depends on how many people went autoed. And right now it looks like 2 finally switched to auto. So you got 2 players autoing and the rest is lit up. It really depends their taste at this point, because usually late in rounds, it doesn't go with the ADP. Some people just go down and get the next best person, or they're still working on needs. Everybody I have in my queue is needs. Not needs bad enough where I'm relying the season on them. And there went my, and I knew he was probably not going to be at the 601, but I kind of thought about it. So I still have 2 picks. And if one of them guys go off, I'm going to have to go to the drawing board and figure who am I going to put in that next spot. There's a couple players down here I like. So I'm going to just go ahead and search through here. Joe Milton is having a great time, and I'm weak in quarterbacks. And there's an actual opportunity for him, but I don't know if I'll draft him. I mean, that's like I'll move some of this around in a minute. I do want to put that's where I'm torn right now on defensive players. Javion, my defensive backs are really good. I think I was shooting wild. Jarrett Wiley looks good for Kansas City, but I'm not going to see him for a while. I think Brandon Frisk, someone I'd be interested in, but I don't think he'll be on the board by the time it gets to me. I'm going to go ahead and drop him on the board just in case. I'm going to put Chris Baswell there too. I'm good. I think either way, I'm going to get 2 picks out of that. So what I'm going to do over here is Joe Milton's too early. So I want Chris Baswell first. Brandon Fritz. Well, DLs is rough for me. So I'm going to go, excuse me. I'll go with Brandon Frisk first. Then I'll go Chris Baswell. Then I'll go Joe Milton. Now, currently I got Spencer Rattler, Cade Stover, Brandon Frisk, Chris Baswell, Joe Milton. Now that's all for the 601 and the 609. But there's a high probability that I'm going to adjust this right here so you guys can see a little bit better. Quinion Mitchell went off, McKinstry went off, Newbin went off. A lot of people like defensive backs are kind of like running backs. You kind of try to keep them fresh. And I really did want Quinion Mitchell since he's from the University of Toledo. Big fan. You don't draft a team for fandism, but sometimes I put a player on there because I just like them. The ideal here right now is I'm working to build my team. So my team, I need running backs. I want to kind of like assured up my wide receiver room. I think I did that with Marvin Harris and them 2 rookies. I could drop them down on taxi squads. I'm still doing some adjustments to my whole lineup. I basically right now my team on the bench does not look too great going into the season. Hopefully a lot of things happen before then that maybe makes that look a little bit better. But you never know. Right now I got 2 more auto drafts that are fixing to happen. So that's going to probably take Spencer Rattler off. I'm not going to get Spencer Rattler. And the reason why I was high on Spencer Rattler is I believe he'll be the future of New Orleans Saints. Unless they draft another quarterback, I believe he's going to end up getting the opportunity. I believe Derek Carr is going to end up balling. And that's kind of why I wanted him. It does not look like I'm going to get him. Little depressing. I really thought most leagues I've seen him go into 6th round. And oh wow. I did not see him get back online, so that was not expected. Okay. So sitting here talking about, oh no, Spencer Rattler did go off. Good God. All right. Braswell went off. So that took out there. So here we are. Yes, Eric Hall is ranked higher than Cade Stover, but I'm more hyped on Cade Stover, not because I'm Ohio State, but I'm just hyped. But now I'm looking at something that's interesting because I really do want to get a quarterback over a defensive player. So I'm going to go Cade Stover. Let me see. Yeah, I got the 9th pick. So I'll go Cade Stover. And I'm going to add Jordan Travis to the mix. Well, I said I was going to add him, but he didn't show up. Why did he show up? Oh, there he goes. Whew, I was about to say he ain't going to show up. And I am going to put him higher than Brandon Frisk because honestly, I still don't think my defensive is that bad where I can pull me I got a lot of rookies from last year. So I'm still happy. I had Jalen Carter. I had Will Anderson. I had a lot of top defensive players from last year. So I also have Raquan Smith. So it's like pretty happy with the whole overall defensive lineman there. They did score me a lot of points last year. Offense did well up until the point I started throwing players away, and that sometimes happens. Bad mistakes. So at this point, and like I said, when we get done with this, I'll kind of go through my team a little bit, kind of see why I picked who I picked and how I'm going to jumble that around. So that's going to be interesting. In this draft so far, I have picked up all offensive players, basically. I had left out every defensive player up to this point. That's not a bad thing. It's not the end of the world, especially when you see the youth and what I have on defense. I'm probably not in bad shape. I still have next year. And I think the defensive front I have now is ranked pretty decent. I believe it'll be perfectly fine going through the season and probably do me good next year. Next year I'll probably be different. Wow, someone drafted a kicker. But I was actually going to buy that same kicker on the waiver. That's what I said. What the? I would have got that kicker on the waiver wire right now. That was one of the kickers I was trying to put on all my fantasy teams to replace one of my eldersmen, I call them. Because the guys I got, it's been in the league for a while. They're good kickers. But it's time to put one on the taxi squad to get ready. And maybe he might take it. There's a couple other good kickers that are available. I left him on the board for drafting because I knew people would want to draft him, give him an opportunity. I try to pick all the low end kickers when I did the picks over on the side, pre-picks. So I use them dummy leagues in multiple leagues. We have a best ball league I use them in, but they actually kind of play like you have to beat them. And then we have other leagues like this that we give away a draft position. So we kind of utilize them two teams across the board. Helps out so you don't have to recreate a whole lot of stuff. So some of the commissioners kind of cross working. Me and Austin works together really great. I'm officially in 11 leagues right now, but I believe one of them might be ending and I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure out. We had a few people leave. I got to figure out. It's a redraft. So we're kind of like, it's a league that was kind of like a different kind of league, but we're still kind of building on it. Might have to grab some other people. All right. So it's coming up to my pick. Both my quarterbacks are still there. Honestly, Jordan Travis really looked good before he got hurt. And he's got this whole entire season to heal. On the other hand, Joe Milton looks really good. So, but he's competing against a younger guy. See, Jordan Travis is competing against Aaron Rodgers. He could sit a year. I could throw him on the taxi squad and wait. Joe Milton, on the other hand, he's either going to get the job or he don't. If he don't, he's going to be on the back bench, and then you're going to see him float through the NFL. So at the end of the day, I would probably take Jordan Travis over. I would take Jordan Travis over Joe Milton. I'm gonna have to go that route. Yeah, this guy's gonna go on the taxi squad. He's not gonna be my all save all. I really need to think about this before I pick. So I got a minute and 50 seconds, and I want to look at my team real quick. So I have another app I can go to real quick to pull it up where I don't have to go out of the draft room. And I'm looking at it. Okay, my running backs, wide receivers, great. Tight end's not bad. Defense, great. Yep, there I go again. I'm looking at my quarterbacks. It's like I got a bunch of don't know which ones. It's like I got a loaded room, but not sure who's going to be the star. So I'm just going to add one more to that loaded room. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think that I'm gonna have to delete players next year. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it and take Jordan Travis. Now, that's a hard decision right there because I was really going back and forth between Joe Milton, Jordan Travis, and I'm sure I know if I had Austin here, you just said I would have picked I would have picked Joe Milton, and I know he would have. He was a little higher on Joe Milton, which I was too. I was impressed with some of the stuff he done. I mean, in our rankings, we kind of talk about that, especially go back to when we were doing our top 10, top 20. I mean, we had a lot more detail in there about Joe Milton, kind of going back and forth off of each other on the college stats and what they did and what they could bring to the NFL. So definitely go back, watch a few of them episodes. All right, we're fixing to wrap this up. But like I said, I promise I'm going to show you guys my team, kind of review it, see where we're at. So really basically everybody's just like grabbing the last bit. This is the 7th round. You're either building up defense or grabbing people to put on your taxi squad. There's some starters in here. Don't get me wrong. They'll be in like I'll tell you right now, I think Jaheim Bell will do well. Some of these defensive players they got down here, I think they're going to do great. Some of these guys will end up being hidden gems. Pulling up something right now. Now I've not got that sophisticated yet where we're actually we kind of radar stuff, but we're not like fully developed to do it. We don't have the support to do it quickly. But me and Austin can put something together and decide, well, where's that rank at and where it doesn't. And at the end of the day, I still think it's all opinionated. I've had some of these apps rate me as a D, and I end up winning the championship. And then I'd be rated as a B, and I come in dead last. So I mean, it really depends on the health of the players, the team they're playing for, and their schedule. I mean, at the end of the day, it's how good the player is, his health, and the schedule, and it's his statistics. I mean, and wide receivers don't always finish in the top, but there is a group that does. That's the group that's always drafted in the first round. So, I mean, you really need to pay attention to that because I'll pull up some power rankings here if it lets me. My internet's still kind of a little shaky. Oh, someone not picking right away. Well, that ain't work too well. And I might not be able to, or it might be because we're drafting right now. It's because I pulled up the other leagues quickly. So my stack up league, I was ranked 7th in power rankings. The league that I believe that I'll probably take a run for it also has me 7th in the power rankings. I have a 62% chance of making the playoffs. The other dynasty league also 7th. This one is not. Oh, here it pulls it up. Now this one here, I'm ranked 12th. No playoff odds at all. So this league here, I'm still building. I mean, overall, they got me dead last, but doesn't mean anything. Because at the end of the day, I do have star players on this team that could turn it around and definitely win it. But I'm glad I got my pick back for 2025. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I did that. Now, is that selfish? No, that's me knowing that I'm still in a rebuild mode on that league. I mean, the other ones, I believe I'm shooting for I'm really gunning to go into playoffs and win it all. This league here, I mean, I'm in several dynasty leagues. In this league here, I don't have the luxury of hoping I'll make the playoffs. But what I could do is at least finish and then try to win the consolation prize and get another 113 pick. I did not win this year. I really my team went downhill. So the team I'm drafted for right now is currently ranked. Still got a few more picks in this 7-round drafter. Now, keep in mind, why is it 7 rounds? Most leagues do only have 3 to 5. When we designed these leagues, me and another commissioner, he had it on. We kind of talked about it. When we include defensive players, 7-round is more suffice than the 3 and the 4. If you're doing offense only, I get it. 3 or 4 is sufficient. In one league, you only have 4 IRs. 2 of the leagues, you have 6 IRs. We both have 7 taxi squads and 25 bench spots. So very slim picking when it comes to the waiver wire. You have to really do your research and try to build. Overall, like that 12th ranked team, overall, my defense, my IDP is ranked number 2. So I have the number 2 defense, but everything else is off the charts. Like, oh my God. But like I said, I made some not wise decisions. I did some things trying to help out other teams. I knew I wasn't going for it. I wanted to make it interesting. I tried to do things differently. This is not updating yet because we are currently still in the draft, which makes sense. It shouldn't. So basically my quarterbacks are Derek Carr, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Sam Howell. And then I just added, Jaden Daniels and Jordan Travis. But you got to think about it at the end of the day. We all know Jaden Daniels is now going to go up there with Gardner Minshew. I have Aiden O'Connell still on the taxi squad. I have Sam Howell. I kept hold of Sam Howell just for hope that something changes. And Tyson. Oh, I forgot I had Tyson too from Chicago. I really liked the times he came out performing for Fields, but in all reality, I'm gonna see how Caleb Williams does. If he does like everybody protects he's gonna do, I'm gonna basically end up dropping him. I have to free up so many spots for my next rookie draft. So through the year, I'll decide who I'm gonna get rid of. When I say I needed work in the running back room, I needed work. I got David Montgomery. Chase Brown is an improvement, maybe. It's kind of like a guessing game. He's a high-end handcuff for 24. Zeke Elliott, aging, is going to have to replace him. Zach Cabaret, I mean, he plays a complimentary role in Seattle, but he plays behind Kenneth Walker and them. I mean, it's like, and then my other running back is Tyler Algier. He plays behind Bijan. It's like I got the backup crew of the NFL. And then you got J.K. Dobbins, only if he could stay healthy. If he could stay healthy, he would be the back. And then Dalvin Cook, I am still holding on hope on Dalvin Cook. And I have Dwayne McBride because I really like Dwayne McBride's college. He did really great. Kind of excited. So we'll come back to that. cover wide receivers next. But you look at the overall draft, that was fun. I mean, top 12 with Marvin Harris, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, JJ McCarthy, uh, Jonathan Brooks, Brock Bowers at the 1-7, 1-8, Drake May, Ladd McConkey at the 1-9, Rome Tuesday at 1-10. And the 1-11 was Xavier Worthy. 1-12 was Trey Benson. And then Bo Nix went at the 1-13. And then Blake Quorum went at 2-1. Brian Thompson Jr. 2-2. Jalen Wright 2-3. Colum 2-4. Penix 2-5. Dallas Turner was the first defensive player off at 2-6. And then 2-7, Lat 2. And then Polk, wide receiver, Ben Sennett. Luke McCaffrey was at the 1-10, and that was early. And that's because I chose to get him. And Jarrett Verse, and then Xavier Leggett. That was your top 10 rounds there. Then on a third, Anadine Mitchell, 3-1. Marshawn Lloyd, 3-2. Jeremiah Burton, 3-3. Bucky Irvins, 3-4. Pearsall, 3-5. Wiggins, 3-6. My eyesight's going out. Colson, defensive player, 3-7. Troy Franklin, 3-8. Or, yeah, 3-9 was Tracy, running back at New York Giants. Sanders, tight end, Carolina. 3-10. 3-11, Peyton Wilson. I was very high on him in our rankings. And then Ray Davis at the 3-12. And that was just the 3 rounds. And then the last guy that went off in our league was a running back for Detroit, and he's like way behind the group, but he went off at 7-12. Vacky. So let's just bring him up real quick. Now, this is slow from Utah. So it'll be kind of interesting if he gets any shot on the field. So going back to my team, so we're going to go here. So next year, my picks are right now currently the first round, 2025, second round, 2025. I still have both of my picks. And then in trade, I picked up a third rounder and then another third rounder, which is mine. And then I have a fourth rounder, which is mine. And then I picked up a fifth rounder. And then I have my own fifth rounder. And then I have my own sixth rounder and seventh rounder. Now that is subject to change through the season, because trades will happen. But currently, right now, for my wide receivers, I have DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Zay Jones, Josh Reynolds, Alec Pierce, Greg Dortch, Robert Woods, Judah Atwell, Brandon Johnson. Tight end group's not too bad. I got Coleman, Tyson Hill, Tucker Kraft, Zach Ertz. And then kickers, I have Tyler Bass and Young Koo. And then, like I said, I have the number 2 defense, which is pretty decent. People I have on that team is Christian Wilkins, Hasten Riddick, DJ Onum, Miles Murphy, Raquan Smith, Jalen Petrie, CJ Gardner, Nate Hobbs. I mean, I'm pretty loaded on the defensive side. But if you guys like the content, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe. It's all opinions, but I hope you guys enjoy what we've put out there. Please go back, look at the rookie drafts, some of the rookie rankings we put together, some of the overall rankings we put together, kind of get a feel of who would you like on the team. And always remember, when you're drafted for a dynasty, you're not always going for talent. You have to also build your team. So I'm focused on certain positions. Like in this draft, I focused on a quarterback and a wide receiver. They were my key players to pull out of this. I originally had a running back I was going to pull out of this, but due to the fact that I decided it was worth more getting my 25 back than it was to keep it, and I took a gamble on some running back. Basically, when you're picking in the later rounds, it's all a gamble. And a lot of them guys are not starters. They're behind somebody. And it all really depends on what happens in the future of that team. Now, I try to take the highest projection one, and the one I think is the hidden gem. And a lot of them could be, because even though they go in the 5th and the 6th or 7th round in the NFL, at the end of the day, they could be that Tom Brady or Karen Williams or somebody that wasn't picked in the first or second round. So it's not always the first, second rounders that become stars. So always remember that. Just kind of do your homework before you draft. And remember, this dynasty draft we just went over. Redraft's a whole different beast. And sharing is caring. So see you guys next time.